I'm so excited to get to be here with you. My name is Bella Donna Laveau. I'm the Archpriestess of the Aquarian Tabernacle Church and the Dean of Wolstenstein Theological Seminary. I am the one who actually brought the seminary into fruition from just a little catalog, and I'm super excited to be able to train you on morning devotionals. Now, the purpose of morning devotionals is several. Okay. They are to train you on how to run a small ritual. They're to see if you're going to show up on time and to be punctual, if you're going to be dependable, reliable. They're to give you some opportunity to learn some leadership at a very basic level. And it's to teach you how to be grateful and for your blessings and to connect with deity every day and to learn the charge of the goddess. Those are the reasons why we do it. It is a very important ritual because connecting with deity every day, with stating your intentions and expressing your gratitudes is a foundation of clerical practice. How are you going to be able to serve deity if you don't talk to them and know what they want you to do? Okay. So devotional times may vary. The original devotional was at 6 o'clock in the morning. We added the 9 o'clock in the morning because 6 o'clock in the morning was too early for the people on the West Coast. We added 8:15 because some people worked and couldn't go to either one of them. Devotional times may change based on the needs of the current congregation and situations as they are. I got a hair on my face or something. Sorry about that. We don't like to lead devotionals on the weekends because I want people to have a break. Having to do devotionals 7 days a week, every week, without fail is too much. So I don't want to hold devotionals on the weekend because I want you to have a break. If you need to have a daily devotional on the weekend, I encourage you to hold your own devotionals. I don't expect you to come to devotionals forever. I expect you to establish a personal practice and do daily devotionals on your own when there's not a ritual to go to, or just because you like doing them by yourself. I come to daily devotionals for you guys, but I usually do my own devotional by myself, regardless of whether or not I come to the devotional with everybody else. Now, please don't deviate from the format. It's really difficult to keep a format together. That's why I'm doing this video. A lot of times people think that we're doing it for a certain reason, and that causes them to deviate from the format. That's why I'm telling you what the format is and why we're doing this. Okay? Please do not add things to the beginning or the end. Like, please don't add a "so mote it be." Please do not ask people to ground and center and to listen to you, to take a deep breath. You don't need to do any of that. All you need to do is say, okay, thanks. We're going to begin with the charge of the goddess. Hear ye the words of the great mother. You know, don't whenever you have need of anything once in a month. You do not need to do a meditation at the beginning, because when you do that, people go, oh, so you have to do a meditation at the beginning. I'm not comfortable doing meditation. I'm not ready to lead devotionals. When you make it more complicated because you're capable, you make it too difficult for the people following you. So please don't do that. When you say "so mote it be" at the end of the charge, that makes people think that you're supposed to say "so mote it be" at the end of the charge. And what that's going to cause is for some wonderful new freshman student who's just learning about witchcraft to be in a local ritual somewhere, and they get through saying the charge of the goddess and everybody's all quiet and basking in that, and they're going to go "so mote it be." And then all of the other people who don't know any better are going to shout out "so mote it be." And that's going to ruin the moment of the goddess having an opportunity to talk. When you have the charge of the goddess, it's an invoking ritual. So after you say it, you're supposed to listen. You're not supposed to go, yay, it's not a spell that we're casting. It's an invocation. You don't say, so mote it be at the end of invocations. You say, so mote it be at the end of spells. Okay? Also, you don't want to add whoosh at the end of the rune. I know that it feels that way, and that what you're trying to communicate is I felt that energy, right? But you should just say, I feel that energy, because what happens is that everybody starts thinking that you're supposed to say whoosh at the end of it. And then they go out into the other communities and somebody will say the rune and they'll go whoosh. And everybody will look at them and they'll go, oh, well, that's what I learned in the college. And I don't want that for people. So that is why we don't deviate and add things. Just welcome people, start the charge, encourage them to do their intentions, encourage them to do their gratitudes, spin the energy up and let it go. The most important thing about devotionals is making people feel safe and comfortable. They're coming there to pray. They're coming there to worship. They're not sure they know how. The last thing that you want to do is give them a laundry list of don'ts, because then they're going to, oh my God, I'm going to do something wrong. Let them be perfect in the existence that they're in and allow them to grow. Set the example of how to do it rather than correcting people. All right. If you do it right, they'll pay attention to what you do. Actually, they're going to pay attention to what you do and they're going to do it the way you do it. So please try to do it correctly the way we teach you how, so that you can set a good example for people to follow you. Now, if somebody is consistently doing it incorrectly and they don't have a teacher, you might want to mention it like later the next day, sometime away from devotional. Hey, by the way, when you're saying gratitudes, you might want to say it this way. When you're saying intentions, you might want to say it this way. You don't want to do a teaching at the beginning of every devotional, because it becomes tedious. You want to make this ritual the safe place for people to dip their toe in. You always want to make it a safe place, even if people do it wrong. I mean, the gods will have compassion for that person, and the gods will teach them according to their need. You are not their teacher. You are not responsible for making sure they do it right. Right and wrong are Christian terms. Let go of that. Allow people to just experience energy and to learn naturally. Micromanaging the details ruins it for people. It absolutely ruins it. And it causes them to leave or to not want to lead. And you know, I don't correct you guys like that. I don't treat you like that, because I know that there's got to be room for Goddess to lead you. Otherwise, I'm stepping in between you and deity, and that's not my role. The role of a teacher in witchcraft is to hold up the light when it's dark, to turn the light on in the room when it's dark. That's your whole job. And if nobody's saying, hey, it's dark in here, you don't say anything. Yeah, so I'm reading all the things. So when you are correcting somebody in the middle of their prayer, it is emotionally devastating and embarrassing and damaging, and you don't want to be around that person anymore. When you're leading, if you say, hey, you're doing it wrong in the middle of ritual, that person will feel like it's not safe, no matter how sweetly you do it, and they won't want to come back. And I would be the same way. So just make it safe for people. There's no wrong way to worship. If they say something that's going to draw something into their life that you think is wrong, it might be right for them. You just don't know. So suspend your judgment while you're leading. Daily devotional should take no more than 30 minutes and no less than 15. you need to start at the appointed time and you need to end at the appointed time. Don't end late. You can end early, but if you end too early, you're not really going to give people the opportunity to say gratitudes. And if it's just you and one other person there, then you might want to leave 15 minutes in. It doesn't take that long for you and another person to do it. But if people say their 5 gratitudes and you rush it, they don't really get the fullness. Because sometimes I have to sit and think, oh, what am I grateful for? It's early in the morning. I'm still waking up. So don't rush the ritual. Allow people to just sit in there. If people get off topic, just gently start saying, oh, I'm grateful for jokes. I'm grateful for tangents. I'm grateful for whatever it is that they're talking about, and remind them with an example that you are in a ritual, because people forget. They get to talk and they forget. Now, when you're delivering the charge, you want to verify that your mic's working. Mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me? But please begin with the charge, and you are delivering the charge. You are not reading the charge. You are not reciting the charge. You are delivering the charge. And this means that you are allowing deity to speak through you. It is an invoking prayer. So when you're delivering the charge, you should feel changes in your body. You should be open to the goddess to enter your body and to speak through you. That means that you're supposed to memorize the charge. You can have it open on your desk, but when you read the charge, I know that you're reading the charge, and I feel that you need more training. If you are just reading the charge and you're not trying to deliver the charge, I can also tell that, and I'll usually talk to you at some point and be like, do you realize that you're supposed to be invoking? You're not just supposed to be reading it. Here's how you do it. This is witchcraft. There's extra layers to everything. Everything, literally everything. If you say, it seems like there's another layer to that, oh, I can guarantee you there's another layer to it. All right. See, there's this thing in here that says devotional presenters are asked to pick the charge, goddess or god, that suits their gender identity. Juniors and experienced sophomores can do other charges. That is not what's supposed to be in there. And I want you to know that when you're at the school, what happens is, and in witchcraft in general, this is one of the first things that was taught to me, is that people will go, oh, we're using this red thing. This must be the preferred thing. I've never seen this thing before. This must be the preferred thing. So I'm going to write down in here, because it doesn't say anywhere that this is the preferred thing, so that other people will know. And I'll come back years later and be like, who wrote this? I don't know who wrote this. Why'd they write this? I don't know why they wrote this. That wasn't the preferred thing. We were just using that because we didn't have anything else to use, and I improvised. So you have to, when things sound weird, ask, because it could be that somebody just changed it. And I took out that whole paragraph in the training right there, because you're supposed to learn the charge of the goddess. I would like for you to memorize the charge of the goddess. I don't want you to say the charge of the god. I don't want you to say some other charge that somebody else wrote at some other time because they had some other agenda. Other charges are fine if that's what you want to use in other rituals that you create. I want you to learn the charge of the goddess because it is traditional. When I go someplace and they say, oh, Bella, can you recite the charge? I'm one of the only people there that can do it, because my teacher was a Kabbalist and he made me memorize everything. You absolutely have to memorize the charge of the goddess, because if you don't memorize the charge of the goddess, people won't think that you're really a priest or priestess. When you know the charge of the goddess, they go, oh, that person's formally trained. So learn it, please. Please. And do not try to do some other charges, because it's just taken away from you learning the charge of the goddess, and it makes other people think that those charges are important when actually those charges have been added because some guy felt like it wasn't fair that we didn't have a charge of the god. And then somebody decided that, oh, we need a charge for the crone. And then somebody decided we needed to charge for a warrior. And you get all of these other things because somebody made it up. But the charge of the goddess is canon. So let's memorize that and not worry about the other ones. You can say the other ones on your own time. Immediately move into daily intent. State your intention for the day in the positive present tense. If anyone does this incorrectly, just you keep doing it right. The other students will pay attention to you and they'll follow suit. And then you state your gratitudes randomly, at least 5 to build the energy. If it's slow, keep saying gratitudes. I mean, you don't have to limit it to 5. You can say, I'm grateful for this picture of Pan in front of my desk. I'm grateful for ring lights. I'm grateful for coffee. I'm grateful for ibuprofen. I'm grateful for phones. I'm grateful for scissors. I'm grateful for reading glasses. Like, it doesn't matter what you're grateful for. You just got to get people in the spirit of gratitude. Why? Because that's where their magic manifests best. But also, there's where Goddess wants you to be. She wants you to be grateful for the gifts that she's given you. So we want to inculcate gratitude within our students. Also, people don't have to say gratitudes in order if they're putting them in chat. They can just type them randomly. You are going to have people stepping over each other in chat. That just happens. It's the nature of the business. Now, when you're delivering the rune, there's problems with the delivery of the rune because we never used to do the rune. We did what was called a spin. If you go to the 9 o'clock devotional, Ted will still do a spin. The spin is you gather up all the energy and you turn it into a cone of power and you send it up into the universe and you verbalize it instead of speaking it. But you can speak it you verbalize it instead of envisioning it, but you do both. And you just say, I gather up all of these prayers and I spin them diesel and send them up to the goddess. But some people felt intimidated by that. They didn't feel like they could just say that they needed to prepare something ahead of time. We don't want you to prepare something ahead of time. We want you to do it on the fly. We want you to improvise, gathering up the energy, spinning it up into a cone of power and sending it up to the gods. When that became too difficult for some people, I said, well, you can then do the rune. You can do the rune. The witch's rune is great. People need to memorize the witch's rune too. They can do the rune. So then what happened was everybody decided that, oh, the spin's out. We don't do that anymore. Now we do the rune. And then there became people who never heard the spin ever. This is how witchcraft changes in just the expanse of months, not even decades. Okay. So you really have to help me keep true to these rituals. You can do the rune or you can do a spin. If you want to gather up all the energies and send them up and just verbalize that, that is absolutely okay. You can also sing the rune. You can chant the rune. You can drum with the rune. You can dance a jig if you want to, but you don't have to do it one way. That's the part that gets people really confused. With the end of the ritual, you can do a spin. You can do a rune. There is not one single way to do a rune. Some people started singing it and then everybody thought you had to sing it. So then I had to do a chant so that a couple of people could hear the chant and then they could start doing the chant. People get pigeonholed. All right, I think I said enough about that. Okay, the cauldron of prosperity. It's super important to ask for money at every ritual because people don't donate enough to the craft. And if we can teach them to donate in school, they'll go from here and teach other people to donate. And pretty soon we'll have money in the craft. We'll be able to enact legislature to protect our planet and all that kind of stuff. We really need money in the craft. I want you to get used to asking for money while you're asking for money for other people, because once you become a leader and you start having to ask money for yourself, it gets harder. Good news is people also feel more obligated when you're actually in charge and asking for money. So there's a balance. There is a standard. You just copy and paste it. You really need to come early, like a few minutes early to a half an hour. Some people come half an hour early. I don't know if you need to log in a half an hour early, but definitely 10 minutes early. Definitely 10 minutes. A half an hour early was on Second Life because people come in and out and you got to go in and advertise. But there's advertisement that has to happen, and you need to advertise a half an hour before, and on Facebook and stuff like that, put it out there that you're doing devotional. If there aren't people coming to your devotional, there's two reasons. One is you're not advertising for it. The second one is you're not delivering the charge. If you're mispronouncing the words in the charge, or you're just reading it and you're not doing the energy work behind it, people won't come back. There's something that somebody told me once about ritual, and it's still true today. They said, Bella, people will come and they'll either see the goddess or they won't. And if they see the goddess, they'll come back. And if they don't, they won't. And that's the reality of it. If you're not delivering the charge, if you're not bringing the goddess's energy to the ritual, people won't keep coming. If you're not advertising and inviting people every day, people won't come. Bottom line. Okay, so be prepared to engage people in conversation. People may turn on their camera and speak in voice if they want to. They should turn off their mics while the charge and rune are being presented so that it doesn't interfere. And having cameras on and speaking during intentions and gratitude is encouraged. People may also use chat if they want to. You will need a microphone and speakers. Be aware of your background. You don't want your background to be a mess. You can see that my background is very manicured and purposely so. Always check your mic. Make sure that people can actually hear you. You can do virtual backgrounds if you've got a messy room behind you and you don't have time to clean it, or you can't get it in a state that you're proud of it. We talked about starting ritual on time. Do not run it longer than 30 minutes. People have to leave. Please respect people's time. Respect people's time, being on time, being dependable. All of that stuff is really important. If you can't be on time for devotionals and you can't be dependable to show up, we can't use you in any other capacity. We have backups to cover for the people who prove to be not dependable, because it's the first thing to be in a clergy. You absolutely have to be early, and you have to be consistently, dependably showing up. I mean, sometimes, people oversleep, people are throwing up, people have a fever, people have got run over at the doctor's office. I mean, there's everybody has things that sometimes interfere with their ability to be dependable. But are you consistently dependable with a random not showing up or not being able to make your life work? Or are you consistently not able to be dependable and randomly showing up? Because if you're the second, you have to get to the first, or we can't let you serve in the community. And that's community wide. If you can't be dependable, just know that you guys show up on time or we'll take you off the schedule. And it's not personal. We have all these people that are showing up that expect you to show up. And if it's not important enough to you in the service of the goddess to show up and do your work, we can't give you more things to do. Also talk to people about whatever, general things. It doesn't matter. You be friendly. And being a minister, being a clergy person, being a priest or a priestess is about being friendly and bringing people comfort um, when they're in a place of need. So practice being friendly. And you might think that I'm just naturally friendly. I'm not naturally friendly. I'm naturally entertaining. I'm fun to laugh at, but I'm not naturally friendly. I've had to cultivate that over time. I am naturally super shy. I'm the one that you go, hey, will you go to this party to me? I'm like, no, I'm not going to a party. Who's going to be there? I don't know anybody. No, I don't want to go. I don't have anything to wear. I'm busy. That I've got to work. I don't want to go to a party. And it's because I'm shy. I don't know what to talk about if I'm not talking about witchcraft. Now, if it's a workshop, I'll go to a workshop. I'll go to speak at something, but just sit around and talk to people about weather and politics. Oh God, I don't want to go. So yeah, I've had to work at it. That's what Dusty brings to the relationship. He's super friendly and he's taught me how to be friendly. Yep, I'm all business. But I love people, so the compassion makes it easy. You just have to draw on your compassion. When you love people, then you are genuinely inquisitive. And that's how you should just look at it. If you're shy, it's because you're worried about what people are thinking about you. And so I just focus on, instead of thinking about what they're thinking about me, which is, we all grow up with that. I shift to, what are they worried that I'm thinking about them? And then I try to make them comfortable. See, that's how you do it. Think about the other people instead of thinking about yourself. So, as a facilitator, some people disrupt the energy. That's just the case. Some people come to start problems. They're bored. They want to mess with the witches. Not as much in teams as you'll find on Second Life, but if you're having those kinds of problems, you can mute them. You can I think you can remove them from the meeting if you're the administrator. But usually if people come to a Teams event, it's because they want to be there. If it's in Second Life, people grief in Second Life, which means I'm bored, I got nothing to do. I'm gonna go mess with these people and see if I can rile them up, and then that'll be fun. Yeah, I know. People that aren't like that don't get that behavior, but some people do that. And if that happens, you just want to boot them. Don't let anybody disrupt the ritual. You're in control of it. But also, don't get upset about it. Feel sorry for somebody that they can't do better than that they don't have anything better to do than to go desecrate somebody's worship space. Don't get mad about it. Feel sorry for them and protect your people with benevolence and patience and compassion, but with enough haste to protect the sanctity of the ritual. If they come and disrupt, their feelings about getting kicked out are not as important as the feelings of the people who want to be there to worship. So make sure that you're focused on the priority. Those people that disrupted can modify their behavior and go somewhere else. If they truly didn't know what they were doing, they can come talk to me and I can decide whether or not they can come back. It's not your responsibility to figure that out. You can just say, go talk to Bella. Bella will decide if you can come. It's out of my hands. All right. Be nice, but don't tolerate disruption. As a transition from gratitude, yeah, ask people if they're ready for the rune in case somebody hasn't been paying attention and they haven't said their gratitudes. Because every once in a while I'll be like, oh gosh, I've got this person talking to me in Messenger and now I can't pay attention because I'm talking to somebody in Messenger. And if you say, hey, are we ready for the rune? I'll go, oh, I'm grateful for trees. I'm grateful for ibuprofen. I'm grateful for lipstick. I'm grateful for coffee. Okay, now I'm ready. So just ask them, let them know we're transitioning to the rune. And then you'll find your own flow as you go along. Allow yourself to be a beginner and be okay. Be patient with yourself. You're going to make mistakes. I mean, that's how we learn. We learn from making mistakes. Ow, that hurt. Don't do that again. Okay, I won't do that again. Please let Damaris know how many people attended the devotional. And we would appreciate it if you would record it in Teams. And that's pretty much it. So when you deliver the charge, you want to take a deep breath. You want to put both your feet on the ground. You want to ground. You want to open your crown and imagine Goddess coming down and speaking through you. Whenever you have need of anything once in a month, then better it be when the moon is full. Then shall ye assemble in some secret place and adore the spirit of me, who am queen of all witches. There shall ye assemble, ye who are fain to learn all sorcery, yet have not won its deepest secrets. To these will I teach things that are yet unknown, and ye shall be free from slavery. And as a sign that ye be really free, ye shall be naked in your rights. And ye shall dance, sing, feast, make music and love, all in my praise. For mine is the ecstasy of spirit, and mine also is joy on earth. For my law is love unto all beings. Keep pure your highest ideals, strive ever towards them. Let naught stop you or turn you aside. For mine is the secret door which opens upon the land of youth. And mine is the cup of the wine of life, and the cauldron of Charybdis, which is the holy grail of immortality. Let my worship be within the heart that rejoiceth. For behold, my law is love unto all beings, and my love is poured out upon the earth. I, who am the beauty of the green earth, and the white moon among the stars, and the mystery of the waters, and the desire of the heart of man, call unto thy soul. Arise and come unto me, for I am the soul of nature, who gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me all things must return. Before my face, beloved of gods and of men, let thine innermost divine self be enfolded in the rapture of the infinite. Let my worship be within the heart that rejoiceth. For behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. Let there be beautiful. Therefore, let there be beauty and strength, power and compassion, honor and humility, mirth and reverence within thee. And those who think to seek for me know, thy seeking and yearning shall avail thee not, unless thou knowest the mystery. And for that which thou seekest, if thou findest not within thee, then thou wilt never find it without thee. For behold, I have been with thee from the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of desire. Okay, so memorize the charge. You never know when somebody's going to want you to say it. You just need to know it. From baby witch on, memorize the charge of the goddess so that you can deliver it with confidence and assurity. I hope you enjoyed this recording, and I hope it helped you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being willing to lead the people of the goddess, the hidden children of the goddess, and enjoy the mysteries that you learn from learning the charge. It's powerful.